Welcome back. In this video, I want to clear the air of everything that relates to VAT and Amazon, as it is a very complex subject and there are a lot of false theories and simply bad advice floating around the internet. So once and for all, let's get this fixed. First of all, we will cover the most common situation, which is you're living in the UK and are going to start selling on Amazon.co.uk using Fulfillment by Amazon. In this situation, you don't have to worry about VAT at all. You don't have to register for it if you're a sole trader or even a limited liability company, until you reach the obligatory threshold, at which point you need to register, which currently stands at £85,000 for the last 12 months of trading. So until your 12-month running sales reaches £85,000, you don't have to register for VAT. As simple as that. You can of course register for VAT voluntarily, but there are no real benefits to doing so in most situations, as then you'll have to charge VAT on sales. Yes, you'll also be able to offset VAT paid on importing goods, business expenses, and Amazon fees, but these numbers are almost always smaller than what you charge the end customer, which means that being VAT registered simply means you pay more in taxes compared to sellers who are not VAT registered. There are some exceptions though. For example, if you will sell goods that are 0% VAT rated, like children's clothes, or goods that are taxed at the reduced VAT rate of 5%, for example, mobility aids for the elderly. If that is the case, you can actually greatly benefit from being VAT registered, as you won't have to charge VAT on sales, or if you do, it'll only be 5%. But you'll still be able to claim back all VAT paid on business expenses. You can get a full list of the product categories that are 0 or 5% VAT rated on the HMRC website. As you'll see, there are not that many goods that fall under these rules, as the vast majority of goods are rated at the standard 20%. So, as I said, in most cases you don't want to register for VAT until you reach the obligatory threshold. When you do reach the threshold, you will have no choice but to register for VAT, which of course will lower your margins and will complicate accounting, as you'll have to start doing VAT returns every quarter. I will talk more about this in the accounting video lesson. Now, for people who are not UK residents, but want to sell on Amazon.co.uk and use Fulfillment by Amazon services in the UK, you'll have to register for VAT from day one. Yes, those are the rules, and Amazon won't allow you to trade without verified VAT information. You'll find that there are many websites online offering VAT registration services, for a fee of course. The good news is that you don't need to pay anything. You can simply register for VAT on your own. There is a special form which you have to fill out and send to HMRC. Then you will be contacted by HMRC to provide any further documents for verification purposes, such as your passport and company registration certificate. And then upon successful registration, you'll be issued your VAT number. At the same time you get your VAT number, you'll also be given access to an online portal where you will be able to do your VAT returns. So for non-UK based sellers, VAT registration is mandatory from day one, and I would recommend that you start this process as soon as possible, as it may take up to 2 months to get it all done. If you don't have any experience with VAT accounting, I would strongly recommend that you find a local accountant who can help you with all of this, especially VAT returns and how it affects your local tax calculations and everything else. It's better to have someone on your team from day one, rather than leaving it until a few days before you have to submit your VAT return and scrambling around desperately then. Okay, so far so good, right? Nothing too complicated, I hope. So really, for people in the UK, there's really nothing to worry about here. You don't register for VAT and can simply forget about it for now. But is it really that simple? Yes and no. The problems start when you explore international selling opportunities on Amazon, specifically the Pan-European Selling Program. For those of you who haven't heard of it, it's a feature in the FBA program where you allow Amazon to distribute your stock across multiple European warehouses to better serve local customers in those countries. This means you send stock to the UK warehouse, but then Amazon sends part of it to Spain, Italy, or Germany. The obvious benefit to sellers is that you can then offer your products to those countries like local sellers do. With fast Prime delivery, plus your Amazon fees will be lowered to local fees. Be it Italy, Germany or Spain, you would compete with local sellers at the same level. Amazon will also provide support to customers in local languages as an added benefit. Sounds all rosy, right? Far from it. The problem is that by law, you're required to register for a VAT number in every country your stock is held in. And this means that as soon as you enable the Pan-European Fulfillment Program, you will have to register for VAT in multiple countries, do regular VAT returns, and take care of all the other accounting-related complications it creates. It's honestly a real nightmare from an accounting point of view, if you ask me. Amazon does offer some help towards this. They have a service which helps you with VAT registration in all those countries, and also takes care of your VAT returns for you. It's not cheap though, and costs €400 per country per year. There's a very lengthy and complicated approval process with lots of forms to fill out. What I recommend you do is ignore the Pan-European Fulfillment Program until you have fully set up your business in the UK, are making good profit, and can afford to hire an accountant who can help you understand all the ins and outs of being registered for VAT in multiple countries. But yes, for many of you, there will be a time where you will want to expand to other European marketplaces. My advice would be to start with one country, like Germany, and use the VAT service provided by Amazon at €400 per year. Once you are all set up in one country, then you can expand to other countries. Just don't make the newbie mistake of applying for the Pan-European program for all 6 countries from day one. It will create a massive list of problems for you, so don't even consider it. It's actually easier to start selling in the United States than it is to expand to European countries. But I will talk more about that in one of your bonus modules that covers the international expansion of your Amazon business. So, if we recap what we have learned about VAT so far. If you're based in the UK and start selling on Amazon.co.uk using FBA UK, you don't have to register for VAT. Stay away from the Pan-European program in the beginning to protect yourself from an unnecessary mess. If you're living outside the UK and plan on selling on Amazon UK using FBA UK, you have to register for VAT from day one. You can do it on your own, and it's advisable to start the process straight away, as it can take anywhere from a few weeks to 2 months to complete. There's one more scenario I didn't cover. If you're living in a country with a local Amazon marketplace and FBA service, and plan to start by selling locally, you don't have to register for VAT in the beginning either. For example, you live in Germany and plan on selling on Amazon.de using FBA Germany. You don't need a VAT number in the beginning, just like people in the UK selling on Amazon UK. The same applies to people living in France and other major Amazon Marketplace countries. You would only apply for VAT if you don't live in the UK but want to sell on Amazon UK using FBA in the UK. Basically, you need to register for VAT from day one in the country your stock is being held, unless it's the country you reside in. It could be that you live in Poland but want to start selling on Amazon.de using the FBA service in Germany. In this case, you will have to register for a VAT number in Germany from day one. Oh boy, I really hope this does make sense and you at least understand half of what I have covered so far. If not, please feel free to get in touch and ask for advice. Even though I'm not a qualified tax advisor, I have pretty accurately figured out the VAT situation and registration process, so hopefully I'll be able to help you out. There's one other situation in which a UK seller or sellers in other countries will have to register for a VAT number in other European countries, even when not using the Pan-European program. It's when you reach the distance selling threshold to that country. To put it simply, if your sales for the last 12 months to, say, Germany reaches the threshold, you will have to register for VAT in Germany and start doing VAT returns there. Yes, I know, this makes the whole situation even more complex. Luckily, these thresholds are not that low. Here are a few examples taken at the time of creating this video. Spain, 35,000 euros. Germany, 100,000 euros. Italy, 35,000 euros. So those numbers are quite high. Unless your business grows super quickly, you won't have to worry about this for quite some time. By far the largest proportion of sales will come from Amazon UK, and European sales will distribute quite evenly over all countries. So it's not that simple to reach even 35,000 euros in sales to one specific country by selling from Amazon UK. Okay, that's about it. I don't want to confuse you anymore. The important thing to remember here is that if you're starting out in your local Amazon marketplace, like in the UK, being a UK resident, you don't have to register for VAT right away. On the other hand, if you start out in a country you're not a resident of, you'll have to register for VAT from day one. Hope this helps, and I will see you in the next video lesson.